Last time is like, I don't feel like working out, I feel like eating whatever I want, then I just do whatever I want, right? That might seem like I'm in control. Actually, you look at it, right? That's not control. I'm being controlled by my emotions, the stress, by my peers who say, hey, let's go and eat Punggol Nasi Lemak. Then I'm like, oh yes, love it, let's go. Now, I'm in control of like being able to say no. I don't mind eating this with you, but eat culture, I just want to eat like that, okay? The rest eat. You okay? You okay? Then we buy. You're not okay, then we don't buy.
Hey everybody, so welcome to the Press On podcast. So today we have Ben, an amazing business owner and coach, and he coaches some of the best people in the financial industry. He's here to share with us a little bit more about his transformation journey in the Press On coaching program. So with that being said, let's get into it to hear more about his successes, his challenges, and how he overcome them together. So Ben, how was life like, before you joined the coaching program?
I mean, I was just starting up my coaching business, and back then I was literally just putting in the time, the hours, and everything else to working, right? Because, you gotta get it working, right? So I think as a result of that, I didn't care about my health at all. I started to just eat whatever I wanted because I think it was more emotional eating, right? I just feel tired and I feel like, I deserve it. And therefore I just eat the food I love, which usually is not the healthiest. Right, so what happened was that within that 1.5 years, my weight literally inflated. I think before I started business, I think I was at maybe 83, 84. Right, and then within that 1 whole year, it was like 104 at the highest.
Wow.
Right, so I was a lot slower. I was more lethargic. I was still earning money, right, because I was working. But I think the biggest consequence I had for me was, I started to have certain health conditions. For example, like my skin started to feel a lot more itchy. There are certain bumps that comes out and everything else. And there wasn't while I was earning money, there wasn't a peace of mind. Not the best every day, while you're working, earning money, but then you know that you're not feeling good. There's aches, there's injuries. You feel slow. You feel like you're so much older than your age.
It's like your health and fitness is the missing piece that's holding you back.
Definitely,
right.
Definitely, right? It comes to a point whereby, like, that is the bottleneck. Because there's a lot of frustration when you run business, right? And business is difficult enough, but when you have your health adding on, giving you the frustrations, making you feel lousy about yourself, it inevitably also affects the business, right? Because then you don't feel that you're good enough or confident enough to run it, to get customers, to coach, etc. Yeah, so it was definitely like the biggest bottleneck. It was painful.
I hear you.
Yeah.
So apart from all these challenges that you were facing before as well, how did you find out about me and what made you actually decided to join this?
Yeah, I had no idea. I had no clue who you were. I think I was following Eric, right?
Yep.
And he, at the point in time, like both of your training, and I always see him posting, and I see so many times, and I'm like, okay, you know what? Let me go and check out who this Preston guy is. So I click. And then at first I just give you a follow. Now, okay, cool guy, 34,000 plus followers. Now, okay, must be a big shot, right? Okay, cool. I just follow, see how things are like. And then follow for a while. I have no idea how long, but I know it wasn't like months. It was probably weeks. And then I just decided, I don't know whether it's the right time, right place kind of thing, but at that point in time, I just saw, and then I'm like, I just reached out to you, right? And I think before I reached out, it was a click moment. It was a decision was already made. I have no idea how much is it. I mean, I know it's not going to be that cheap for your services. I know you're fantastic. So, but I really have made a decision before I even send you a DM and reach out to you.
And what motivated you, to make the decision on the spot?
I think there was a lot of incongruence. It was, see, I can run a business, I can earn money, I coach, but then my health is in a mess. And then, to a very, very large extent, at the start, it was negligible. It's okay, health, it's getting fat, it's fine, Anyway, I got a partner, that kind of stuff, right? But what happened was, it became to a point where I just felt so painful, not only in terms of the frustrations, not only in terms of like how I feel, or my muscles, my bones, or whatever it is, but the pain of my own identity not being congruent to what I want to do and what I'm doing, who I want to be. And when I saw your page and I know Eric and everything else, and then it's like, I just gotta be me. I just want to be better. I'm not saying like, I'm like extremely successful in business. I'm not earning like 50 million a year kind. But I also do know that if their health continues to deteriorate and I don't care about it, I don't think I can earn the money also.
God, it's like the thing that's holding you back all the way.
Yeah, right. And that's when I'm like, for some reason, I'm like, oh, Preston is the guy.
So when you came on a call with me also, right, then we had a conversation, we understand more about your goals, your challenges. So what made you decide that, okay lah, I think this guy is really the right guy for me, let's do this together?
I think relatability, very simple, like relatability. I think you weren't, there are people out there, like quote unquote PTs, trainers, right, and coaches that are super like big and fit and everything else. And honestly, I love to be like one of them, right? But I wouldn't be able to relate. And you didn't put yourself up there as though like, I'm the fit guy, I'm the one with the six pack, I did this before, you're fat, come and listen to me. It wasn't like that. It was more of a, look, I've been through what you've been through. I have a lot of my clients as well. Let's do this together, And I think beyond like the sales talk and everything else, I think there's a lot to do with, I think you care. Yeah, there's a lot of genuine concern, there's a lot of care. And I can tell it wasn't just about, like deep inside me, I can sense it's not just about, okay, I care about you doing this weight like that. No, I think it's like caring as a person, and that got me sold. That got me sold, I don't think you intentionally like do it, but it's just inside you, the way you deliver yourself, and I'm like, okay, this person is the guy.
That's awesome, man. And then, so thank you for that. Firstly, I think that what you said really resonates with me, because particularly as well, what I do is not because of just helping clients to get their abs or lose weight, but most importantly is for them to feel that sense of belief in themselves again, and for them to really take charge of their lives again, right? Which is kind of like why you actually joined in the whole place as well, right? So how was it like, during the experience so far? Like, how do you feel about our journey so far, actually? What do you thought it was going to be, but, what happened in the end? Yeah.
Well, it's good, right? This time, second year with you, right? So, at first, the initial thought or the perception I had was just like, I'm going to meet you twice a week. I'm going to work out. I have to go on a diet. And that's it, right? You track, make sure that I'm on track and everything else, then lose the weight, just like that. It was literally just like that. I didn't expect anything more and whatnot. So, but what I realized was that it was way beyond what I expected, in a very good way. So, my perception of you back then was, okay, PT/fitness coach. But then when we went through the experience, right, it was more of a very holistic, like a health coach, like someone that cares truly for all areas of your health. And then more importantly, how it ties in with business, right? I think that's the important portion. So then elaborate, right? So a lot of people sometimes, they say it's about health, you need to work out these 2 hours, 3 hours, blah, blah, blah. Like you don't say, I also know, right? Like, I think the only challenge here is like, when you have a business, it's very different. It's just very different, right? You need to understand, like, we don't really have that kind of time, right? Sure, it's excuses to a certain extent, right? But I think the relatability, understanding, me and everything else, and understanding how I operate, how I work. And then that was the part where I felt like totally changed everything. Like, it wasn't just 2 times a week training. It was I have someone that is with me
throughout the step.
Throughout, right? It wasn't hey bro, I see you twice a week, okay, thanks. It was a with me kind of thing. So that's the first portion. The second one was, it wasn't just about losing weight. It wasn't just about diet, gaining muscle. It wasn't just about that. It was about other things like flexibility. It was other things like, to a certain extent, like physio, recovery, all these things, right? I think these are the most important ones that makes me feel like, wow, like there's so many aspects to health, and you actually take care of everything else rather than just going to the gym for like 2 hours.
Right. That's awesome, man. And I think you shared as well that previously you had some challenges, lethargy, fatigue, felt a bit slow. Then how is it right now? How do you feel about it right now? Like, as you start to experience more of the program, experience more coaching process with me, right? How do you feel about yourself these days?
2 things. Definitely have a higher level of energy, for sure. A lot more. Like, now I'm literally looking back and remember how I felt back then. I felt a lot more, I feel a lot more energy. I feel like I can do more. Same number of hours, but I can do more. The intensity through which by which I conduct myself is a lot higher. So I can really give my best and then move on and more. This one. The second one, right, is that I feel a lot more in control. Not just like, psychologically, but like literally I am in control of how my body looks, the food I want to eat, and the actions I want to take. I think it's a huge one for me, Preston, because last time it's like, I don't feel like working out, like before I don't feel like working out, I feel like eating whatever I want, then like that, I just do whatever I want, right? Now, that might seem like I'm in control because I can control what I eat, I can do anything, right? Actually, you look at it, right, that's not control. I'm being controlled by my emotions. I'm being controlled by the stress. I'm being controlled by my peers who say, hey, let's go and eat Punggol Nasi Lemak. Then I'm like, oh yes, love it, let's go. So although I make those decisions, technically I'm in control, but I wasn't in control. Now I'm in control of like being able to say no. Being able to like, you know what, I don't mind eating this with you, especially my partner, I don't mind eating this with you, but eat culture, I just want to eat like that, okay? The rest eat. You okay? You okay? Then we buy. You're not okay, then we don't buy. Because I'm not going to eat the entire thing. Right? I always remember one thing you said is, are you eating it to feel full or eating it for the taste?
If it works for you and that's the way,
Yeah, sometimes it's so tempting, you just want to eat.
Correct.
Because it feels so good.
Yeah. But I guess that by having some kind of systems that you are, applying your own life, such as something like that, and if it helps, why not, right?
It could have gotten worse if I didn't, obviously get nagged by you every single time, and then it grins in me, and then I kind of get it. Something at the back of my head is like, okay, Preston. So I just hear a voice and Preston says this, and I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
Like, Preston is not here, but Preston says this.
Got it.
Yeah, then I'm like, okay, I shouldn't.
Understand.
Yeah.
So it's like you basically have more control and you can decide better as to whether you want to enjoy or whether you want to indulge or whether you just want to, stay more on track or so.
Yeah, I think this is by far, like, if anyone is watching this, right, like, I think it's by far the most important one throughout our experience and journey together, which is you have never made me feel lousy about myself. Why I say that's so important, right? It's because, you see, especially when you're very fat, you're obese, and you don't look good at all, there will tend to be a higher sense of insecurity, lower self-esteem. You fear judgment from other people, even though they might not be judging you, but you fear. And sometimes, when you don't have the strength, you're working out, you have all these problems, and then especially we have a coach, sometimes I don't feel like I'm good enough as a person because of how I look and the way I eat. Sometimes I might not hit my goals and everything else, right? Sometimes I know I should be on track, but I eat something else, I feel very bad about myself. I feel like a very lousy person, right? And every time I tell you about it and all their stuff, right, you always tell me like it's okay, right? Not that it's okay to just indulge and forever, but like at a point in time, sometimes we do give our temptations. Now we just need to get back on track, right? And I think this is what keeps me going, knowing that the things that I do, I'm not perfect, knowing that I'm not the one that lose weight the fastest, 25 kg in 6 months or whatever it is, but knowing the very fact that I'm always improving on a day-to-day basis. I think that's important because that builds me as a person and in my identity more than just lose 10 kg in 6 days kind of thing. Because permanence, right, and sustainability is key. Yeah, so I was going to thank you for that.
Appreciate it, man. So on that last note as well, I think what you shared is so important, like sustainability, because most people, they tend to go for something like a quick fix, get some PT to push them 3 times a week, 2 times a week. Yeah, do more. Sure, they lost weight, right? But what happens to most people?
You gain it back up.
Gain it back, right?
Yeah.
But I think so far we've been doing very well. Not only did we improve in terms of your health, your fitness, your mindset, your maybe relationship with food and the fitness and people around you as well, but ultimately as well in terms of the tangibles, we went from
I think 104.5.
3 digits,
Yeah, it was 3 digits. It was. I always tell my friends and clients, I say this is the breakthrough I never wanted. Hitting 3 figures in weight. So I think it was 104.5. Now I'm at 92.
That's awesome.
Yeah, right. But putting weight aside, when I first met Preston, so give context, right? Last time, even when I was a lot fitter, maybe I do about like, I hate pull-ups, right? So maybe I do like 5, 6. That's the best I can do. So when I met Preston, I can't even do half. I can't even pull myself up. I have to use the bands that we talk about, right? Now, easily one shot, I can do like 12.
Yeah. Like you do for multiple sets.
Yeah, and I can do that, and so it's not about, it's the weight loss, it's the muscles, it's how I feel.
And I think there's a big part as well.
It's really about like, about all these things. And then I can tell you some other intangibles that I got to thank you for. Like, it got me very conscious of my relationship and the activities that I do with my parents. I start to tell them about health. Every Sunday we go for walks, and things like that. Like, I'm busy, but I always make it a point to go for the walks with them. I know sometimes, it's very boring to just keep walking around here. So you drive all the way down to Botanic Garden. It's like a Sunday kind of family kind of thing. But we make sure it walks because like my dad has diabetes. They're in their 60s, to large, at least for me, right, I want my parents to live longer so they can see my journey and I can spend more time with them. I want to bring them on a business class trip, traveling and everything else. And we couldn't because of COVID and all that stuff, right? But I think importantly is like, even though sometimes you might have the money, but you might not have the health to travel. So this, because of the relationship and experience that we're working together, right? The effect spills over into my family. My partner, Kelly, let me tell you something. Before we work together, right? She seldom work out. In the last 20 over years, she rarely works out. After we work together, she looks at me, then she starts to do some, YouTube HIIT 20 minute kind of stuff, right? And then subsequently, she started to do spin class and everything else. She actually pays the money to do it, everything else, right? And then it's like, she loves exercise now. Sometimes I'll just keep, hey, you don't go today. And then she was like, no, I must go. Then I'm like, cool. Right, so I asked her one day, I say like, hey, why suddenly you start exercising and you're so consistent? She said, I don't know, I think it's because like I see you do it.
Respect.
Right? Yeah, and then I do it because of you, right? Like with you and with your help and guidance and everything else, right? So I think that's the beautiful part. It is more than just, like the experience of working relationship, right? Changes beyond just like myself. It goes to my family and the people around me.
That's amazing.
And that's something that, money can't really just buy, I'm trying to say.
Correct.
Yeah.
And thank you for that. I think it really warms my heart that you shared this with me as well. And it's very happy to see that, even your family, even your partner Kelly as well, is even experiencing the benefits of our coaching. So if let's say someone is watching this video and they are, thinking about working with someone, what would you actually share with them?
Oh, wow. First of all, Preston is you're the guy to go to. So if you ask me, like, if you're someone that you're earning money, you're earning good money, but your health is not at the most desired state, not the most optimal and whatnot, right? I suggest, like, you might not, I'm not asking you to straight away go work with Preston. I'm saying, like, look, hop on a call. Talk to Preston, right? Because I assure you that maybe, you see, you need not to get a six-pack. You just need to get fitter. There's so many other things. And Preston will always be the guy for you, beyond exercise, beyond fitness. And that's something that I don't think a lot of people out there provides. Because everybody's just about fat loss, low body percentage fat, blah, blah, blah. You rarely get someone that can really be there for you, text you, tell you this and tell you that, So I think if you're watching this, you don't have to take my word for it, but I would really strongly encourage you to hop on a call. And if you're thinking, is it worth spending money on health and all that stuff, right? Here's just one short snippet of story, right? I didn't put health first because my belief was that if I put 1 hour, 2 hours a day into workout, diet and everything else, it's taking time away from the business, therefore I will make less money. That was the belief.
Then what happened now?
So last year, my revenue wasn't fantastic, right? And we were working together. Now we're still working together. And like, my revenue increased like 2-3 times. So then it just debunks the belief of like, workout equal to waste time, equal to take time away from business, equal to earn less money. I would challenge that belief now. Like, if you had that belief, I would challenge that, right? Because if you are running business, you're earning money, you always look at ROI, right? Can it earn us more money? Does it make sense or whatnot to a certain extent? Then if you look at, I would challenge you to look at health, equals to more money. Yeah, invest that 1 to 2 hours a day in yourself equals to more money overall, and you feel a lot happier and everything else, right? So I'll change that. So you're watching this, I really suggest go on a call, right? Preston is not going to hard sell you anyways. Yeah, Preston is a very, very cool dude. So please don't take advantage of him because he's a fantastic guy, right? He'll be there for you. So I legit, I'm saying it again. I know this is annoying, but go on a call. Go on a call, right? Because if I'm not first year with Preston, right? This is my second year with him, and honestly, I could have just stopped and you know what, it's fine, I'm at a better state now, it's good. But I choose to because He's more than a coach. He's a friend. He's someone that keeps you accountable. He's someone that you know that he's always there, right? And I can tell you sometimes we pay someone money, they might not even do that. Okay, so basically that's that.
Thanks, man. Appreciate it, man.
Yes.